and Happy New Year. First of all, let me just say that I'm very grateful to see this beautiful, beautiful 2024 with you here. I know that we are 1 week late, and if you're a frequent follower, I know you missed 1 week's video, but we are here. Thank you for coming back. So today, at the beginning of the year, I'm here with somebody who I met in 2023, and he's become a huge favorite, and I'm just going to let him introduce himself. So karibu sana.
Thank you very much, Jess. My name is Odhiambo Brian Otieno. I am a communications consultant, communications trainer, PR guru, but also a public speaking trainer. I focus on making communication easy in growing relationships.
Amazing.
Thank you.
When you talk about, first of all, even before we go into the details of what you do, we can already tell where you come from. Because you guys have a way of building
something small.
Yeah. In layman's language, what does that mean?
Basically, I'm a trained journalist.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that is what you said before, now in simpler language.
I'm a trained journalist, but I focus more on the public relations side. So I'm a public relations officer.
Okay.
Focusing on a sector of public relations, which is called public speaking.
Public speaking.
Public speaking is what now leads to enhancing communication between a person and the publics.
Okay.
Publics can be one person or they can be many people, with the aim of achieving a mutual understanding.
Perfect. So right before I want to just jump into the whole discussion of why you're here. Yeah. In the recent past, I have had this video that has been trending, and if you have not watched it, you need to go back to the previous video that I did with this lady called Kate, and it was a discussion about dating older men or younger men, which for some reason I feel like the direction of that I had hoped it will go has tremendously changed. It has now become something like not the age but the money factor. And right before I even bring her on here to give us the clarification of whatever was going on through her mind and what she thinks and feels, especially about that viral video, I just wanted to have this conversation with a man this time, and not just any man, but this man who I feel is very knowledgeable on that topic, because you said something about it on my Facebook page, which made me want to have you here to just talk about it. So tell me, Mr. Double O, because that is what I've come to know you as.
Yes.
What do you think about this discussion? First of all, do you feel like from the video, and I think we'll just have a small snippet or a recap of the video in this discussion.
I say that older men, to me, I would go for them. I dated.
Do you feel like maybe it's not maybe a thumb rule, maybe it's just that man, that particular young man was just irresponsible?
I've had a talk with some young girls my age, and they're like, young men of nowadays, they are not serious at all. And that's why you see young women, they are saying that marriage is a scam and all that, because the kind of men they are getting out here, they are not serious. And they don't want to work, they want to club throughout, they want that aluta.
Do you feel like she was justified to say that she just wants to date an older man? And you feel like on behalf of even all the other women who are dating older men, is it just a matter of age, or is it finances? Because that is where the direction took a toll or took a turn to.
Let me first say that I agree with her based on her own perspective, that we have to respect people's opinions and choices in life. There's a very important reason why she chose to be with an older man. And there's a reason as to why people also chose to see money in the older men. We have older men who are broke.
That's true.
Yeah, or we have older men who are wealthy. And most people don't know that very wealthy people don't have money.
What do you mean? People don't have money?
Many people don't have what I call cash flow. Yes.
Okay.
They have wealth.
Assets.
They have assets. They have buildings. They have stock exchange. But they don't have ile
Cash, cash.
vibunda. Because when people talk about money, they imagine money is cash flow. And most old men actually don't have that cash flow. And that cash flow is actually debt.
But isn't that equals to all the asset? Isn't that equals to cash?
No, until it is liquidated. And for you to liquidate property, it takes time. So when you hear somebody is worth 17 billion or 100 billion or 100 million, it's not really hard cash. It is some asset somewhere. You could find that the actual cash flow is having could be, let's say, 600, 700 or even 2 million in a month. But the net worth is too high. Okay? So that must be cleared first.
Okay.
People who are rich have more cash flow than people who are wealthy.
Okay.
Yes,
So the
because
rich, if I'm understanding this clearly,
Yeah.
the rich have more cash.
yes, they have more cash.
Okay.
Because they do quick businesses that give them. They're still rich is the level where you are at before you go into wealth.
Okay.
Wealth is where you are now institutionalized your investments.
Okay.
Like you have a bank running that gives you money. You have real estates that gives you what I call passive income, and many other investments that do not actually result into what I call hard cash that people call money.
Okay.
But it gives you that kind of flow.
On
Yeah.
the man's perspective.
Yes.
Do you know, is there like a specific age where maybe you can say from 10 to 20 or 20 to 30, there the man is struggling, hustling?
Let me-
30 to 40, they are rich.
Let me
Wealthy.
let me give you the analogy of man versus money and man with money. First of all, you must understand that wealth or money comes from different points. There are people who have generational wealth. I will give example, like the Jewish community. The Jewish community has a culture from long time ago that there is a particular percentage of money that is spent and a particular percentage of money that is invested.
Okay.
So from salary, yes, they also get employed,
Yeah.
but from salary, they dedicate, I think it's 30% to investments. Is that 30% that will come to be a business when they exit? But you see, in our culture, for example, in the African culture, or what I call the normal urbanite culture, people receive money, salary, and they spend the whole of it.
Yeah.
And even if they save, the black tax is so huge.
Yeah.
The dependence level is so huge that they may not really have money. You can find, for example, doctors or lawyers who are some of the best paid people, but still not having enough
Yeah.
cash flow. Now, in the analogy of age, a man who is from school, and here I mean college, 22, 23, let me use myself as a baseline. I did graduate at 22. 22, I got a job at 23. 24, I was already, I would consider a step back then.
Okay.
And I entered a relationship, which was a marriage, for example.
And would you say that where you were financially, did that in any way influence you getting to the relationship?
Definitely. A man goes into relationships when they think they're financially sound.
But what about these men who are looking up to women to dish out money and help them to pay bills?
There are so many men who do that because of, I think they're being predatory, in my view. And maybe they're not serious relationships, because a serious relationship is one that is structured, that the man provides,
Yeah.
and the woman nurtures the provision.
Do you feel like that is just an analogy that maybe has been put in us? Somebody, actually, I had this conversation once with a man, and he was telling me that the definition of the roles, like who is the provider and who is the nurturer in a relationship, sometimes it's our outlook as Africans. That in the Western world, you see a man just taking care of his kids and the woman will go to work. What do you think about that?
Everybody, every bit of the world has a different way of operation. But again, ask yourself why there are many divorces there as compared to here. It is because in the natural state, there's something I call origins of commonality, where you find that a man has always been placed or find themselves to be the head of the houses. You go to India, it is the same. You go to China, it is the same. You come to Africa, it is the same. So if the men are the heads of the, why are they heads of the houses? It's because naturally and biologically, let me use very straight terms. Biological testosterone is quite dominating. Do we call it estrogen?
Yeah.
It's quite receptive.
Yeah.
Okay, and estrogen will want to be taken care of. It's a shy hormone, wants to be taken care of. Testosterone will want to prove.
You
So,
can do this.
so from that perspective, biological reality already brings us to the point where naturally a man must provide, and naturally a woman receives and nurtures. Okay, when a shift happens that the woman goes into her masculine end, then that relationship is lost.
Okay.
That's the reality. It is lost because when a woman starts to provide, then the man must subside or back down.
But I feel like,
but it's also very contextual that in marriage there are cases where a man could be out of work or has a financial challenge and the woman steps in. That is absolutely fine.
So you'd be okay because there's a video that I saw of this lady who was bashing the husband. The husband, they've been together for I think 3 or 4 years. They even have children. And this lady was bashing the man that he's been out of work for 2 months and that she's the one providing, and even she was even telling him, I'm even the one who has bought you even the clothes that you're wearing. And I did not know, like she was very, it's like she did not believe that she should be providing for this family. And the man was like, even when I had the money, even build house at your mom's place, don't you feel like you should step up right now because you're the one with the job? But this lady was like, no, it's a man's job. So
well, the lady is being genuine. I believe she's being genuine, but she's being unkind. We can say the truth, but there's a way that you speak.
Yeah.
You don't have to tell somebody, I'm now feeding you. No, you can say, for example, babe, for at this moment, I feel strained that you've been out of work for 2 months and I'm having a little problem in meeting up all the bills.
She could actually afford it.
But you can still put it aside that, yeah, I can't afford it, but I feel that we need to maybe understand what plan you have. Is there any way I can assist? Because there's no problem in marriage. A woman saying, okay, you're down, I have a savings. And by the way, for that to happen, it means these guys didn't have conversation on finance.
Yeah.
That's the reality. Because if they had a conversation on finance, I can assure you they would have had 4 accounts. One account is for the lady, her own account. Another account is for the man, his own account. Then a joint account, then a savings account.
Wow.
Okay?
Okay.
The joint account is where you bring something from your account if you want to as a lady. I don't advocate myself, a lady giving me her money. But if you want to, if you think this is a union that we should build, then fine, bring something. But it's my responsibility to take care of the family. So I'll always put the bulk. So that joint account, that money cannot be withdrawn by either partners unless by consent of both of us. Then the savings account is what I call the emergency fund and the development kitty. And this is how emergency turns to development. If for the whole year, the savings account had, let's say, 2 million shillings from the jobs we did, then we didn't have an emergency in this year. We agree. What percentage of these savings do we push development? Okay? So these people didn't have a conversation around finance, and that's why this lady felt like, oh, it's shock. We have not been sensitized on how to deal with this. Because if they had that, we always say, you should be having a savings that can last you at least 6 months on your rent.
Okay.
And 6 months on your food.
Is that even possible?
It
especially
is.
With the current state of the country right now?
It is very doable.
Unless you're making way too much money.
Not really. It's very doable. How? Many people live without budgets.
Yeah.
And that's why we do the mistakes. Myself included, I've been there. But I've learned and now I know better. Okay? So you can't start a year without a budget. Because where are you getting the money? To what extent do you want to use this money? So you must draw a budget, and the budget must have recurrent expenditure, which is the rent, food, clothes, etc. Development expenditure. What are we going to plaster a house? Are we going to buy land? Are we going to buy a car? And stuff. So once we draw a budget, then we ask, how are we going to finance this budget?
Okay.
Let's say the budget is 2 million in a year.
I thought that's like a country thing.
That is right. Now you get the point. Now, what is the basic unit of a country? It's a family.
Yeah.
So without proper financial planning at the family, then that's why we are having the issues we're having. Because even those ones who may be leading in finance dockets in this country don't understand, because it was not inculcated in them at a young age that what amount of money do you need to spend. Like, for example, you see, you're earning 100K in a month. Your wife is earning 100 or even 50 or whatever amount she earns, or even more. And you say, both of us, this is the money that is coming in. Okay? Per month, we are having, let's say, 170. Our budget for the whole year is 2 million. And plus development. Kama unataka kununua gari, we've indicated. So our budget for the whole year, let's say, is 3 million shillings. 170 times 12. What can it finance? What is the deficit? What is the saving, etc.? You must have that. Now, once you identify is when you can go for a loan. that okay, we can pay our rent comfortably on recurrent expenditure in terms of the money that is coming in. The income can finance us, but the income cannot finance the development. So what do? This development, is it going to help us make more money? We take a loan. Is it going to be a liability? Don't take a loan.
No, where exactly do people have this conversation? Because in today's relationship, I'm finding that either couples have secret accounts or that you don't even talk about finances. It's as long as we are eating, we are fed, then we are good to go. Sometimes they even say that the money that is just lying there from when the spouses pass on is so much money. Because people don't disclose such
People
things.
don't talk.
Yeah.
Marriages are selfish institutions where people have gone in with individualism, and that is what ends those marriages. If you don't talk, if you're not frank with each other, what are you doing? That's why during COVID times, people divorced on the highest.
In my culture, it's because they say that when the woman knows, then they can plot to kill you.
It's okay. If they want to kill me, it's okay. What is the danger in me telling them? The worst that they can do is to kill me. The best that they can do is to take advantage of this and we grow together. So somebody who is evil is just evil. They will kill you whether you have it or not.
What about the concept of your money is our money, but my money is my money?
It's again very contextual with every other person. Though I don't advocate for that. Let me call it nonsense. I don't advocate for it for the following reason. We are a family. How does your money become your money, and my money become our money? I get it. I'm a man. My money is principal. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's look at it. Let's look at it. That my money is principal is the provision money.
Yeah.
So rent, fee, etc. Can it be covered within the man's money?
Yeah.
Great. If it can be covered, then that is it. But if you as a woman, you want your child to go to an expensive school like Brighton, for example, and I don't have the capacity, but you see, if you can chip in, it is a tosha mtoto kwenda Brighton. There's no harm in you chipping in.
Keeping it. Why we keep it for a rainy day? Why? I've seen so many homesteads where we will eat beans.
Yes.
I will not take out my money to buy beans.
That is a dangerous.
You know why?
Yeah.
Because I think it's just, have you ever heard that a woman needs her own money?
Yes.
And this money is not to be disclosed to the husband no matter how sweet he is. Because they say that you men are like Wi-Fi. When we are together, you're mine. When you go out there, I don't know where you're going. So what happens if one day you need to get an exit plan?
Again, communication is everything. Stay open. Stay open in the marriage about communication.
I might be open, but how sure am I that you're open with me and you don't have a woman somewhere?
Now let me teach you this. And even the audience that is watching. There's something called imputing value in somebody. If you have if you're looking over 300 cows, and you have so many thieves around the area, these bandits who steal cows, the best thing to do is to take one bandit and put him in charge. Do you know why?
Why?
Because you impute value in them.
Okay.
Everybody has a hero in them. That if it is well polished or appreciated, it comes out.
So now,
and everybody has the capacity of evil. Now, this is what I'm saying. If you go into a marriage or into a relationship with the prejudice or prejudice that the man is a cheat, the woman is a thug, you will get exactly that because you're coming in with that energy. Now, if you go in with the positive energy that I'm going to make my woman understand that she does not maybe need to work, I'll take care of her, then the woman will just also relax and say, okay, it's fine. Or the woman comes in and says, I'm going in, I know my man will be a hard worker or rich or whatever, but I also want to show him that I'm not just an ordinary woman. I'm going to be exceptional. I'm going to contribute on this. Let me tell you, women do not marry because of your beauty. We marry because of stability. And stability is that thing that I have in me that says, this woman...
Say that again for women, because I know there are so many gorgeous women out there, including myself.
Yes, absolutely.
Wondering where we single.
Yes, exactly. and you'll realize many beautiful women are single, but the ones who are married, I'm not. I mean, you know what I'm talking about.
That.
Yeah, they're quite moderate. Why do men go for moderates and not exceptionals in terms of beauty? It is because men look at the time of marriage, they look at, can she be a mother of my children? One, can she represent me well? Two, can she ensure stability of my economics? Because a man is his money. A man lacks money, he becomes a poor man. A man has money, becomes a rich man. A woman is just a woman because she's a woman. She does not need any definition.
Say a man is his wallet.
Yeah, man is his wallet. That's why they're stratified. Rich man, broke man, poor man. Yeah, but a woman is she's a woman.
Not a man.
Yeah, the poor man is not a man. Or the man who's finding himself. But for a woman is she's a woman. She's pretty. It's okay. A woman is a woman. In fact, the only thing she needs to do is just be a woman. Okay. So when you get into the marriage with these prejudices, then you have already prepared a template. And that template is what we call the exit plan. But if you get in, you can get in with zero expectations, which is what me I like doing. Get in with zero expectations so that any little thing that is done, you appreciate.
Yeah.
But if you get in with high expectations, like for example, you got a doctor boyfriend and is earning, like in Kenya, I think they earn something above a six-figure salary. And then someday his license is withdrawn because doctors and lawyers work on licenses. And the license is withdrawn, which means he cannot practice anywhere. And maybe didn't invest.
Wow.
Do you leave him because the money has gone down?
I think it depends.
He has a great character.
Yeah.
He's an amazing person. But something professional hazard happened. And these things happen. And he loses his job.
But if you had not invested, what are we supposed to eat?
You were just maybe 2-3 years into the marriage. So
I think you're
I'm talking about you have a look at if you ever look at that. So we look at constants and variables. Constants in life is not money. It is the capacity to provide.
Yeah. I think even the capacity to think, because if you've been in that 2-3 years, you're earning a six-figure salary and you've not honestly invested, I will leave you.
That's right. You should leave. If you ask me, I'll tell you should leave, because especially if you had a conversation about savings or finance. But if you didn't have a conversation about finance, you're leaving too.
Yeah.
You're part of the problem.
Yeah, that's true.
So if you're leaving, just know you're leaving, but you also contributed. But if you're leaving because we did discuss and I didn't implement, you're right. Please go. Yeah, because I didn't respect the relationship. And relationship is not just about us having a good time and fun. It's also about us having conversation about our future in terms of money.
Okay. That's a very interesting conversation.
A whole one.
I think we have even diverted from the whole thing.
Yes.
But yeah, it was more of finances and relationships and age. And then I did ask you, what do you think, is there like a defined stage or years where we can say the man is finally, or does it vary from man to man, where we can say he's now rich or wealthy?
It
just maybe for the ladies out there who
it differs. My friend, it differs. It differs because somebody who has generational wealth, like the son of Uhuru Kenyatta, trust fund babies. Do you want to compare them with sons of poor men who have gone up the ladder of education? You can't compare. The thing is, and I will tell you, men who are just from a university, between 22 and 24, 25, or colleges, they're still trying to find themselves. That's why we say don't marry. A man who is 22 to 25 years of age, that's a man who's just starting out. They are at entry-level jobs. Government classification, their job, group JK, earning between 48 to 50 or 100, maximum 120.
At that age, they're not just in the Sharia stage.
Not really. It matters. It matters that you look at it differently, because a man could be at 22 and mentally is in his 40s.
Okay.
Or a man could be 40, but mentally is 19. Yeah, I've seen 40-year-olds who still live with their mothers.
That's very true.
That's a boy.
Yeah.
And not that they had any financial issue, just because they are having that platform, so they are finding it easy.
The environment.
But naturally, a man, the larger group of men between 22 and 25 are just starting out, and at that time they don't really get into marriage, and if they do, then they're in a very high mental space.
I had somebody say on the comments, and they were saying, as you're looking for those older men, we are waiting for your children getting born.
And I don't want to get it, but I know it happens. Men have interesting conversations.
It happens.
Yeah, then a man between 26 and 30, that is what I call the experimental stage.
Yeah.
Because they now have a little money, and they're able to date.
Okay.
26 to 30 can date properly, and can even date into marriage.
And they can even. Are you at in life right now, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm living in my 4th decade already.
40.
I'm living in my 4th decade.
Are you sure?
I've lived for 3 decades. I'm living in my 4th. Do the math.
maybe for the people who are watching, they might be able to tell.
Yes, I've lived my 3 decades and I'm in my 4th.
And just for the viewer's sake, are you single or taken?
Well,
you can plead the 5th as well.
Where? Sure.
The other question.
I'm very unmarried though.
You're unmarried.
I'm unmarried.
No, there are boxes. Those we have extra boxes. You're either single, married, divorced, or widowed, or now Nairobi.
Well,
where do you fall?
I fall in the divorced platform.
Okay.
Yes, I have lived well enough. I've had beautiful lessons. And that's why I can talk like this.
I need to have you back because I think that is a platform where we can share me and do the lessons that you're
absolutely,
yeah?
absolutely. Oh yeah, and we share in that. I mean,
we share that in common as well. So anyway, for today, let me just say thank you.
Thank you.
You've been a wonderful, wonderful guest. And please comment down below or DM me on any platform, Facebook, Instagram. Tell me if you want Double O back. That is how I call him, Double O. He's very knowledgeable, and he'll be in the next video as well. He has there are things that you really need to look out and listen to, like the upcoming video as well as the previous one, for you to be able to understand this talk of today, all about finances and age. I'm really grateful.
Thank you.
Thank
you so much
for just being here.
Thank you.
Barikiwe sana, and see you in the next episode. And if you want him back, just comment want him back or back.
I'll be glad.
Double O back. I'm going to get the message. So thank you very much, and don't forget to share this video, like it, and subscribe if your first time. This is your first time to just being here. So till next time, bye.